Welcome to Facts by Michael, the place where we dive deep into the most fascinating and unbelievable stories from history. Today, we're talking about a man whose very existence was both a miracle and a burden. A man so massive that the world simply wasn't built for him. This is the incredible and tragic story of André the Giant. André stood at a staggering 224 centimeters, 7 feet 4 inches tall, and weighed 236 kilograms. His size made him one of the most recognizable figures in the world. But while his massive body brought him fame and fortune, it also brought pain, struggles, and loneliness. Near the end of his life, despite all his wealth and success, André made a heartbreaking statement. "I would give all my money just to be a normal size for 1 week. I want to board a plane easily, get into a taxi without trouble, use the toilet comfortably, sit in a restaurant like a normal person, and eat a regular meal." It's easy to look at larger-than-life figures like André and assume they have it all. But what if being a giant was more of a curse than a blessing? Let's go back to where it all started. André was born on May 19th, 1946, in Coulommiers, France, just 1 year after World War II ended. Times were tough, and people were struggling to recover from the war's devastation. But from the moment André entered the world, he was already extraordinary. He weighed a whopping 6 kilograms, 13 pounds, at birth, far bigger than the average newborn. As he grew, it became clear that André wasn't just big, he was a giant among children. By the age of 12, he was already 190 centimeters, 6 feet 3 inches tall, and weighed 108 kilograms, 238 pounds. His size made him an unstoppable force in schoolyard games. When playing soccer, he was always placed in goal because he was so big that no one could score. But André's size wasn't always an advantage. He faced daily struggles that normal kids never had to think about. School bus? He needed 2 seats, and even then his knees would hit the front row. Clothes? Nothing fit him. His parents had to custom make everything. Friends? Many kids were afraid of him or made fun of him for being different. Despite his size and strength, André never used violence. Instead, he endured the teasing and stares with kindness. But deep down, he wanted more, a better life. At 12 years old, André left school and started working on a farm. His strength was legendary. People used to joke, "We don't need a tractor, we have André." One day, as he watched his farm's owner drive past in a luxurious Rolls-Royce, André turned to his supervisor and said, "One day I will buy a car like that." The supervisor chuckled and said, "That's a big dream, even for a big man like you." André worked on the farm until he was 18, but he dreamed of something more. So he decided to join the French army. But when he applied, they turned him away. "We don't have uniforms, boots, or even military vehicles that can fit you." Rejected, André packed his bags and set out for Paris, determined to find a new path. Discovering wrestling. Paris was where André's life changed forever. While looking for work, he met a man named Robert the Giant who asked, "Are you looking for a job?" André said yes, and Robert responded, "I know the perfect job for you." Robert was a wrestling promoter, and when he saw André's massive frame, he knew this man was made for the ring. He introduced him to a wrestling club, and just like that, André became a professional wrestler. At 18 years old, André was already 213 centimeters, 7 feet tall, and weighed 227 kilograms, 500 pounds. And he was still growing. But why? What was causing his unstoppable growth? Doctors diagnosed André with acromegaly, a rare condition where the body keeps growing uncontrollably. His hands, feet, nose, ears, and jaw never stopped increasing in size. His fingers were 4 centimeters wide, double the size of an average man's fingers. His rings were so big that an egg could fit through them. When he shook hands with people, he would only use 1 finger because their hands were too small. Doctors gave him devastating news. "You won't live a long life. Your body will keep growing until your heart can no longer support it." Despite his fame, André faced daily hardships. Clothes? Custom made. Nothing fit him. Cars? They had to remove seats so he could fit. Airplanes? He needed multiple seats. Hotels? Beds were too small, so he often slept on the floor. Toilets and showers? He couldn't fit, making travel miserable. During a trip to Japan, everything was too small. The cars, the hotel rooms, even the doorways. One night, he sat in a corner and cried, "What kind of life is this?" André turned to alcohol to cope, sometimes drinking over 100 beers in one sitting. But eventually he quit drinking completely. However, his body was already failing. His knees gave out, forcing him to walk with canes. He had to retire from wrestling. In 1993, André's father passed away. He returned to France for the funeral and took one last photo with his mother. Just 3 days later, André died of heart failure in his sleep. He was only 46 years old. His mother, in just 1 week, lost both her husband and son. André the Giant lived a life of glory and pain, fame and suffering. He was one of the most recognizable figures in history, but all he wanted was to be normal for just 1 week. A true legend, a blessing, and a curse. What do you think? Would you trade a normal life for fame if it came with such struggles? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more amazing stories here on Facts by Michael. See you in the next one.